What is going on? Welcome to episode 143 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2, Hate Zero, Eric is back. What's up, dude?
What's going on? And what up, NPC fam? It is your boy, Hate Zero, your hero.
Player 3, Destinaut. What's up, man?
What's that?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Oh, I couldn't hear you over the sound of my awesome Paragon level from Diablo 3. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about it later, maybe. I don't know what else came out. But yeah, doing good. Even though everyone makes fun of me because I have a work flip phone. But, whatever, that's cool.
Mels, Player 4. How are you, Mels?
I'm fine.
Good. Glad to hear it. Okay. Well, before we get started, that music you just heard was from On Being Human. Check them out on Spotify and YouTube. Remember, this is an unofficial Nintendo podcast. And if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like, Console Wars, Super Mario, How Nintendo Conquered America. There's lots of great books. Check it out. audibletrial.com/NPC. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. Go to n64josh.com/OP Seat and automatically save $10 at checkout. I love these chairs. Highly recommend them. Lastly, I do have a Patreon. If you want to check that out, it's patreon.com/n64josh and you get an extra podcast each month for just $1. That's patreon.com/n64josh. Let's get to our announcements.
Hey, listen!
We do this show live on twitch.tv/n64josh at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thursdays, we're actually starting around like 4:30, 5 o'clock now because my new streaming schedule allows me to stream at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday. Fridays, I still get up early and we do a long stream all the way into the, sometimes if I have to go pick up a game, it doesn't always work out, but sometimes all the way into the Smash Bros. Cast, which happens at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. So there you go. And we still got First Look going. This week we have a handful of games already for First Look. We're going to be looking at Rogue Legacy, Full Metal Furies, I think is the other one, and I still haven't done a First Look for Diablo, even though I've been playing it. So I've been playing way too much. So maybe we'll do the First Look then. So we still have a handful coming out. With that, we can get into our reviews and impressions. All right, Eric, you've been gone. You've been on vacation
forever.
Like, life's been crazy. What have you been playing, my dude? Oh.
I've been playing a lot of Octopath and Aces. Just kidding. Let me start. I got just a couple things that I haven't touched on in a couple weeks, so I want to. 8-bit do. How do you pronounce that? I got the SN30. If you are in the Discord, you heard me rave about it. If you're listening to the podcast, you probably haven't. So that thing is awesome. Love it. I won't need to get the NES controllers. I don't need a second Pro controller. This thing does it all. It's amazing. If you're looking for something that fills that void, it's amazing. I'll never play side-scrolling games with anything other than that. So in New York, and Destinaut, you have one, so you can quickly touch on it for anyone out there listening.
Yeah, I'll quickly touch it. So yeah, it's great. I know there was some concerns that people had in the past about, I guess, like touching. Let's do this with the opposite camera here. Like hitting these buttons and hitting this stick. I primarily use it for the classic games, so I'm not even using the sticks. Haven't had an issue with it. The only game I've ever had an issue with, which actually takes this controller down a point, is Nier Automata, because of the way you have to hold both of the top buttons, and it's a little skinny right there.
Yeah.
Other than that, I say right there, people on the audio version only are like, what is this guy talking about? So the L, R, and ZR and ZL buttons, the L and the R are very skinny because they're using a traditional SNES controller platform, and they had to cram the buttons in. So, but other than that, I love it as well. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the L and R's completely usable independently. But yeah, I could see if you had to press both of them, there's not a lot of room for both. So So in New York City, I had the fortunate ability to go to the Nintendo New York store. I know, everyone, go ahead and lift your jaws off the ground. I am that cool now. I'm one of the few. So,
Lucky.
if you're if you're a Nintendo fan, it's awesome. They have that Game Boy from the Gulf War that still powers on, that has Tetris in it on display. Um, they have a lot of merchandise that you can't get anywhere else. So if you're ever in the New York area, you got to go there. I mean, if you're a Nintendo fan, you have to go. But what was even cooler than that was in Manhattan. And if anyone wants to know, you can hit me up in Discord or Twitter, because I forget the name, but I have it. So there was a retro game store that was the greatest retro game store I've ever been to. They had everything. They had autographed DSs from Miyamoto. They had custom art from Miyamoto. They had Super Famicoms. They had Super Nintendos. They had a Sega Genesis Nomad, which I've never seen in the wild, but they apparently exist. They have 3 of them. They had a PS2 dev console that they were selling for $20,000. Like, they had everything, and I could have stayed there all day, but I had to get out. They had 6 copies of Battletoads.
Whoa. Did they have a GameCube dev console?
I'll have to look through pictures. I didn't see a dev console. They did have that Panasonic GameCube that only came out in Japan, the one that played DVDs.
Oh yeah.
They had that. I always wanted that.
Yeah. The GameCube dev console's about the same color as your jacket or your sweatshirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of
That
an
would've been
interesting,
cool.
like teal green kind of. I don't know.
I didn't see that. They had every copy of Nintendo Power magazine.
Rad.
It was just amazing. Like, if you're in the New York area again, you're going to Manhattan, you should go there. I don't know if you can afford to buy anything, because they were expensive. I mean, they had brand new in-box Super Nintendo, original Super Nintendos, brand new in-box, and the boxes were pristine. So
I wonder if the console was still yellowed on the inside.
if you had $400, you could have bought it and found out. They had one that came, which I didn't even know you could buy it, but it came without Super Mario World. I didn't know you could get the Super Nintendo without Super Mario World. Like, I thought that was always bundled in.
Are you talking about the square one or the
later
rounded
on.
one?
No, the original.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So
later on that came out. That was kind of like the whole. So I think later, didn't they sell the original Nintendo similar to that, where it
I
was like
think
no game?
The
That's
top
maybe
loader with the
priced
dog
in.
bone
it came
controllers?
lower price.
Still the front loader, still the VCR style.
Oh, I see.
No one knows what I'm talking about. VCR, what is that?
We do.
So that was my vacation. I went to go look at games in New York, and went on a cruise prior to that. But so that was cool. And then recently been playing Diablo 3. Last night I played with 2 of the 3 people on this show here, and it felt like we were only playing for 10 minutes, and we look at the clock and it was like 2 hours and 40 minutes later. I'm like, what just happened? So that game
Like the
is
good old
awesome.
days.
It was exactly like the good old days. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was leveling up like crazy.
Yep. Same.
So
It's like marriage.
so that's all I have to say about that.
All right. Right on. Destin, what have you been up to, man? What have you been playing?
So for the week, Mel's, don't hate me. I haven't touched the missing yet in a while. I'll get to it. Someday we'll have a conversation about it.
Someday.
Someday. Maybe this millennium. Yeah, I've ever since Friday, nothing but Diablo 3. Sunday, so Hate just said he spent 4 hours and it felt like 5 minutes. So my Sunday was basically about 40 minutes because I literally played all day long because my wife left, and next thing you know, the sun's going down, and I haven't eaten. It's very depressing. But that's just it about Diablo 3. It's okay. So there's that saying, I don't know, I've heard it in movies before, and I don't know, probably in real life, where people say like, oh, the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was was convincing people he didn't exist. Well, the greatest trick that Diablo 3 has ever pulled off is making you believe that you have a real life outside of playing this game. It literally sucks time away from you. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. And I've been playing it off and on for, well, since it came out. I guess it was 6 years old now.
Yeah, 6 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it came out in what,
so-
2012?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. So I played it off and on. When the season thing came out, I jumped back in and started playing some seasons here and there. I kid you not, to this day, well, up until yesterday. Yesterday was my first time ever playing Diablo 3 with other people. I
Really?
had only played it solo.
Oh.
And I enjoyed it. It was one of those games where, I don't want to say any spoilers for anyone that hasn't done the story yet, but...
Me, I haven't.
what-
I've just power leveled.
Yeah, right. Just hates like I only know what the end boss is. I don't know anything else about this. No, so it's one of those games where you don't have to fully pay attention to it. This is like my bread and butter of I can play Netflix on one screen and put Diablo on one screen and have like Discord on the other screen while like having YouTube on another window. You know, it's just like I could, it's a time suck. It's everything that Destiny tried to do in first person.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
can
weird because this
see
game
that
pulled it off
exactly.
7 years ago. So, and this is why we don't have Diablo 4 because it's one of those things. How do you make it better? I don't know that answer. I'm sure it's out there.
I
know.
personally think they could make it better by adding some more of the elements from Diablo 2. So the combat in Diablo 3 is awesome. I want them to keep it, but they took away all the like leveling and independent class abilities and so you still have your skills and all that, but in Diablo 1 and 2 you could level up like an RPG almost, if you remember. So a little bit of that would be nice because right now I'm leveling, I'm like, oh, that's cool, like, but then again I'm also leveling at a abnormal rate. We went into like one dungeon and I hit level 30. I went from like 1 to 30, so obviously that's not normal, but
Yeah, you got an unrealistic kind of like version of because the way you just described it, like a normal RPG, like so you'll go in, you get a level, you get a little bit stronger,
right.
and I can't remember at which level, but when you level up, you then get a new ability. You kind of got like, here's handfuls of abilities. Here you go, pick one. So yeah, I highly recommend going back and just playing through the story, and everything is skippable. So if you do get to a point where you're like, whatever, you can skip it. So that's nice.
Yeah, no, I went back today after I figured out how, because after you guys dumped me in Act 2, I had no idea how to get back. So I figured all that out thanks to Pudding and Crawler and everybody. But I had to put it on Nightmare because I was way too beyond playing on normal at this point. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm really excited for D3.
I'm going to speak on it quickly, and then Mel's going to take us away on another game. I cannot believe how much fun I'm having with Diablo 3. Like, control's great. We've had just a few little minor hiccups with online. I saw a little bit of frame rate stuff happen today, like when there was like a lot going on, and again, super minor. Cannot believe how well it runs. The thing that was great is I had family come and visit this weekend. My cousin came and hang out. He came and hung out from Friday night all the way till like Sunday evening. And so I bought him a copy for his birthday, and I bought his dad, my uncle, a copy for his birthday so that the three of us could play. And I just threw on the speakerphone because his dad lives quite a ways away from us. And so the three of us in handheld were playing Diablo together and just absolutely loving it. Like, it was really, really a good time. And all that was happening while my wife was playing Stardew on her new Switch, because I got the Smash Switch on Friday, and it looks super cool. Really, really pleased with how it looks. It looks better in person than it does just in the photos.
The
And-
eShop photos are terrible.
Yeah.
Very.
yeah. So, and so that was cool. Like literally, we just all like vegged out on our couch playing Switch and had the Seahawks game on and stuff. So it was really a cool and just laid back weekend. I also played a little bit of Mutant Football League with Super Nintendo. He helped me with. I've done a few first looks with him. I've got to get those uploaded though. Pretty funny stuff. That game is very interesting. If you are needing something to kind of scratch that football itch that isn't Madden on your Switch, I think this game can do it. It is a little bit different. You know, you're basically playing. It's very Diablo-like. You're playing with like monsters and demons and stuff like that. So it's got that little tie in there for you. You can like pay off. You can like bribe the refs to like, you know, throw like penalties out and stuff like that never actually happened. So it's different. At one point I was playing like a top-down twin stick shooter trying to shoot referees while collecting stuff. So it's interesting. But I will say, yeah, Nintendo Freak Forever is pointing out that I got destroyed in Diablo today. So they took me through the highest like T13. I don't even know what that means. They took me through that. I was getting just one-shotted constantly, but my Paragon level was just shooting through the roof. Last night I hit Paragon of like 28, and I hit 200 and I think 212 or 220 or something Paragon today, just in like an hour and a half. So, or maybe.
And the cap is 10,000, I believe.
I don't even know, but
I think it's 10,000. So, I imagine at some point you're not gonna keep going up as freakishly fast as you are.
Right. Yeah, I would imagine so. But it's just, I mean, the game's got so many things going for it, like just the ability to play together. It's not a lean forward game. It's kind of a lean back game and relax, you know, hang out with your friends and just chat. Streams have been kind of fun because it's just kind of like hanging out versus like trying to compete and really focus on what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
overall,
I have one more thing to say.
Yeah, go for it.
You touched on handheld a little bit. The game plays phenomenally in handheld.
Yeah, it
I
does.
was very surprised that with how, I mean, it has not slowed down for me on handheld, no matter how many characters are on screen. It's done a great job. So kudos to Blizzard for figuring this one out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mels, what have you been playing? Little less time in hell than what we've spent?
Yeah. Well, y'all in hell, I was being an octopus, so
One and the same.
just saying. But this week or last week, or whatever, I picked up Save Me, Mr. Taco. I guess it's Taco. It wouldn't be taco because it sounds like taco. But anyway, it's about this octopus. There's a war between humans and octopuses. That's the common enemy.
It's just
totally.
around the corner. That's what I'm waiting for next, honestly.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the octopuses.
Yep.
Well, the one you play as, he's a good boy. He doesn't want to fight against the human. He actually saves this girl in the beginning. And, all of his octopus buddies, including his brother, which is, like, in charge of the octopus army. He's like, hey, like, what are you doing? And, you're just sitting there and just like, yeah, just being nice, whatever. So this is basically set up as the creator actually coined the term Kirby-vania, because it's set up like Kirby, where you have a world and you have stages. It's like 1-1 kind of thing.
Okay.
So you go in, you go through the level, and then later on you can go back and unlock other stuff. Because in this game, you want to collect hats. There's 50 hats. And hats give you the abilities like Kirby. But unlike Kirby, you don't have to eat anybody and just wear the leftovers. That's the hat. You just get a hat. And like the hats, you can get stuff like extra hit, a sword, boomerang, flowers, bubbles, bombs, stuff like that. And well, in this game, there's only one hit and then you're dead.
Old school.
Yeah. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that, but apparently that's a thing. Unless you get a different hat, who lets you have 2 hits. But the hats are pretty much hidden in these other levels. So eventually you're gonna see like a block you can, bomb, or like a piece of vine you can like set on fire. Because apparently you can't use the sword to cut it. No, that's not the correct answer. It has to be fire. And I don't have that hat yet, so I didn't get it. But aside from that, those side quests, and they're very old school. Because there's like no menu in this. It's like, hey, you got this item, you better remember who gave it to you, you better remember what it's about, and you better remember to go give it to that person. And yeah, because that's not been helping me for this either, because I did one earlier. There was like a guy in a restaurant. He's like, I hate all these seagulls, they're bugging me. So you go chase the seagulls away, and you go back and talk to the guy. He's like, they're just gonna come back. You should actually talk to my brother in the forest. So then you have to go into the forest and find him, and then you gotta come back and all of this stuff. And it's not, there's no menu or anything. You just have to remember. And when you're playing the level, there's a checkpoint. So if you see a puzzle and you go to this checkpoint, you can change your hats out, which sounds really nice. But again, this game has 50 hats. You have to go by one to find the right hat you need. And also when you die from this one hit, you lose your hat. So if you pass the checkpoint, you can't get your hat back. You have to leave the level and get your hat. Because there's this little guy, he's an otter, he holds a hat for you. So there's this one otter just holding like 20-something hats. He's like, oh, which one you need now? Here you go. So,
This sounds like a super masochistic version of Kid Chameleon, where there was like bajillion helmets and like there was so many levels. It was just like it's almost like overwhelming. Like how you can even wrap your head around the mechanics of it. It's I don't know. It sounds like Dark Souls, but like it's that type of game where you have to like hate yourself to love it.
kind of. I was just expecting a lot different from this, because I would still be able to like this if it had just a little bit of modern stuff. Like, why do I have to remember every single side quest? Like, I got like 10 of them. Like, I'm not gonna remember all of them. Like, why is there like just this you lose your hat thing, which is the whole point of the game? You want to use the hats. Like, why make me lose? And then what's really neat though is this game is like really old school looking, like Game Boy, like exactly like Game Boy. Like everything in mind, it was made in mind with the Game Boy. Like the pixel art, like the characters, even the music. It uses like the same exact music setup for that. And if you actually hit, I think it's L, you can change the background color. It has like 16, 17 different backgrounds, and it even has like the original OG Game Boy color. So that nice screen, you can have.
I love that you said nice. Say the name of this game again. Chat's wanting to know.
Oh, Save Me, Mr. Tanko. That's how I'm gonna say it.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't think it's Taco.
Yeah.
And when you die and you like in the story part, like if there's like a cutscene for that, you have to go through it again. Because, this is old school. Apparently, we can't just skip the cutscene we saw. So I better hope you don't die. Because, especially with some of these bosses, and, you die in one hit, if all your lives go, you're screwed.
This sounds like a Game Boy game. I mean,
yeah.
Because if you guys remember,
that's what they were going for.
a lot of times back in the day, the Game Boy games like Super Mario Land, Super Mario Land 2, those games were actually pretty difficult. They weren't long games, but it was the same kind of deal. One hit and you're dead. I mean, that's Mario, right? But then, like, I remember like getting to Wario and dying, and it was like, that's it. Start all over again. Like. So, needless to say, I did not beat that game until I had save states on the 3DS.
Can't blame you.
I'm wondering if the reason for that for the Game Boy was like the technical limitations. Like they didn't have the RAM to save the checkpoints or something, you know. So like, start over because we can't keep that in memory.
Some games had battery backups at Game Boy, you know, the Pokemon games and things like that. But
Oh my gosh, you just killed that guy again, Josh.
I said Pokemon. I said it right.
You did. I'm just so used to hearing it the other way.
I'm pretty sure he wanted you to say Pokemon because Mohn is moan, right?
True.
Oh my gosh.
Pokemon.
So, okay, just so you guys know, I got an email this week from a listener named Scott who said, look, I don't know much about Pokemon, but I know it's not Pokemon, okay? And, and so he proceeded to tell me it's Pokemon, and he wrote Mon probably, I don't know, maybe 500 times. Like there was a lot of Mons. So for the sake of Scott, I'm going to try to start saying it correctly because I don't want to. I don't want to trigger.
I want to
even
reach
though
out to Scott and say thank you, Scott. You provided me with a lot of laughter. So
and
so
me
thank
too.
you for that.
I even emailed him back and said you just made my morning. So so yeah, thank you for that. But okay, anything else with Save Us, Mr. Taco, or whatever it is?
Yeah, one final thing, which is what I hate the most from this game.
Uh-oh.
So, the very first thing I do when I get a new Switch game is I hold down the capture button because I want to see if there's video.
Right.
No video.
Uh-oh.
No video. And there's certain parts during the game where it looks like I didn't get hit, but apparently I got hit. So I wanted to like, let's go back to. I can't go back to the video.
Oh yeah.
I can't post a little dance he does at the end of the levels because it's adorable. Nope, can't do that. No.
You can do it old school fashion. You know, record your screen with your potato.
Yeah.
In
I guess
in portrait mode.
I guess that's what I have to do because apparently I can't just have my 30-second little clips. You know, I think all these developers got mad at me. Like, she's finding stuff wrong with these things. Let's just close it off. She can't. We know she doesn't stream.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no one's using them for the power of good. You're only using it to be like, look how dumb these people are. They can't even program games properly.
Hey, I did half and half. I try to get a good one in there.
If I were a dev, I'd be like, not worth it. We don't want this ever getting out to the wild.
Like, this should be on by default because they should be wanting me to post as many clips as possible. Because that's what I mostly do. I mostly post clips rather than pictures. And for this game, I only have like one picture right now. I have to go back and post some more. But I wanted to post video, but I couldn't do it. But that was my game for the week.
All right. Sounds good. Well, let's get to the news. Okay, well, since the last time we all talked, there's been a Smash Bros. Direct. And so I'm going to just go over a few little news tidbits here, and then we're going to I want to do a little bit of a deep dive into this thing where we can kind of talk about it. So if you've already pre-downloaded, so if you've purchased, let's say the Smash Switch, or you just pre-purchased the game digitally, they've already begun emailing your code for the Piranha Plant. Okay, so make sure that you're checking your junk box and that kind of stuff if you you don't want to miss that. I already got mine. They already sent mine. They've been doing it in waves, and so I do have my code already. Amiibo are up for pre-order. We've had King K. Rool, Ice Climber, the Piranha Plant, and then we've known about Ridley, Inkling, and Wolf have been out for a while. And we're starting to see some of the Amiibo already being re-released. The boxes are a little different. They have the little red Nintendo logo on the front, even though it's the same cardboard on the back that looks like Smash 4 logo and whatnot. My Best Buy has like 20 Pac-Mans, and that's it. Just Pac-Man. Nothing else.
That's what the kids are into these days.
I guess, apparently. So there you go. And then Super Nintendo just messaged me. Somebody tweeted out a picture of the kiosks at Best Buy showing Smash on the kiosk, and Best Buy said, "Oh, the cat's out of the bag." Like they quoted the tweet saying the cat's out of the bag. So that's all I know about this right now. We don't know if all the stores are getting this, how many stores are getting it, if it's a playable demo. I don't have any of those details. But you can see when you go, like if you go to the kiosk at Best Buy, at least where where the person that tweeted it is, I don't even know where their location is, but it shows Smash, and then Best Buy quoted it and said "cat's out of the bag." So there may be a playable Smash demo at your local Best Buy. You'll have to go check, but there is the possibility you can go hands on with the game if you have yet to do that. So with that, I want to kind of hear from you guys. Mel, what did you think of this latest direct? And a lot of single player stuff in this one with spirits and whatnot. Like where'd you land on all this stuff?
Okay, so for the first patch, they showed off the new characters stuff. My first thought was, they shouldn't have saved these two guys as last, because they didn't really feel like the heavy hitters, kind of, in a way. But the more I thought about it, the more I kind of like how things happen, because we had the Grunge leak.
Because you're sick and twisted.
We had the Grunge leak, and that was obviously not correct, because they destroyed that in like the first 3 minutes of the direct. But they gave you Ken first. They're like, oh,
right,
oh, okay, Ken's in it. Well, Ken's in the Grunge leak. Oh, okay, yeah. And then I recognized Incineroar right away because he's one of my favorites. Like, I would have recognized him even without these other rumors we had, because I know his eye shape. And as soon as I saw that, I'm so glad we were not in the call, because I was just dying laughing, because I was like, people are going to be so upset, and it actually kind of works out, because they were in, the boxing ring, it was like a big fighting match and stuff. And I was like, you know what? This is literally a WWE match. Right. This is like a pay-per-view kind of thing. Because you have the two fighters, one of them wins, and then, oh no, out of the shadows, an unbelievable opponent. Which,
John Cena. Oh, wait.
Dun, 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 dun.
It'd be great if they play that.
But yeah, then you see Incineroar, and Incineroar is what you call a heel. A heel in wrestling is a persona that they play as a villain. So that's Incineroar, and people are mad at him because he just proved the Grunge leak is wrong. And I was like, this is actually amazing. This is my favorite new presentation fighter. I was dying, and he actually looks pretty good too. So I was like, I gotta be Incineroar. He's gonna be my new main. I'm gonna do the clothesline, the drop kicks, and do all that.
Oh, I can't wait! I'm so excited.
And then then the other major hack, aside from the Piranha Plant, which I also love. I love this man, because that is the stupidest thing possible, but it looks amazing. But aside from that, we have the single player thing, which, the spirits and stuff. When they were showing that, I was like, man, this is a lot of information for a thing I'm not gonna touch. But looks nice. But then, they showed the cinematic with everybody, everybody pretty much dying or turning into spirits. And this little clip right there was a lot of emotions. Also, very glad we were not on a call for this, because I would have gotten in trouble. But because my first moment of devastation was obviously Sonic and Pikachu part.
Right.
Because Sonic...
He was reaching back for him.
Wait a minute. Wait, Mel, did your heart grow 2 sizes during this part?
They are my pros, okay? Sonic's still very important to me, and he intentionally slowed down to save Pikachu, and that is Sonic's MO, because that is who Sonic is. I was like, in this little 2-second clip, he made Sonic what Sonic is. But the people at Sega, I don't know what they're doing, but they can't do it. But this guy, 2 seconds, very touching moment, very soul crushing for me because two of my favorite guys.
Did you shed a tear?
Almost. Because right after that, you had the Inklings, and I was just showing them like, "They're kids. Why are they dying?"
They're kids. They literally do what I do in Splatoon. They tried to hide in the ink and then got killed. Like that's
then-
me.
Then right after that, you had Palutena, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, she's just trying to save herself." But if you actually play Kid Icarus Uprising, you would know she's linked to Pit because Pit can't fly on its own. She gives him the power to fly for like 5 minutes, and when she goes, you notice Pit and Dog Pit they'll drop for a second before they get hit. I was like, "Oh, this level of detail, amazing," but this is terrible. Just awful. And then they have to throw one very last thing for no reason at all. But they showed Wii Fit Trainer, Villager, another kid who's obviously dying on the screen,
Just
which is very
standing
nice.
there.
He's panicking. He's like, I don't know what to do. But not only that, but they had Duck Hunt. Like, Duck Hunt had no reason to be there. There's no reason to show him.
No, there's every reason.
Like, no.
Anybody that played Duck Hunt on the NES knows there's a reason. He
No,
laughed
like,
so many times. So many times.
I know I wanted to kill him, but he didn't deserve to die like that. He deserved to die when I shoot him with the gun. That's how he deserved to die. Not by this little wish of golden light thing.
This was
Whatever.
too good.
This is...
Too
And
good for
then,
him.
and then they showed Kirby, he's dodging everything. And at this point, I was like, Psh, y'all not killing Kirby. I don't know why y'all even entertain this idea. And then it just kept going on. And I was like, wait a minute, this is going on way too long. You can't kill him. The best. And then, I was like, this is total baloney. He has to go. And then finally, the star pops up. And I was like, he got away. I saw on other people's streams and stuff. They're like, did he survive? I'm like, of course he did, you idiot. He's Kirby. He can do it. Because this is what he does often. He fights gods, he can, control time and stuff. He's the best. And then, when he's fallen from the star and he looks over the world of light stuff. Like, I didn't even hear the first 20 seconds of the actual lyrics. Like, I didn't know those lyrics because I was just going off. I was like, yeah, he's the blank, 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 blank. Yeah, he's amazing. Blank, 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 blank. All of y'all, look, I am correct. I was always correct. I picked the right one to name myself after. He is the savior of not just Nintendo games, but all of games. So I was having very fun with this direct.
Not just Nintendo games, but all the games.
Yeah, because look, we have
my
Cloud
gosh.
there, we had Snake.
Yeah.
We have Mega Man, Pac-Man, Sonic. He saved, Bayonetta. Oh, that was another thing with Bayonetta. When she was dodging, that was actually a really nice touch. Because if you dodge a lot in her games, you get really punished for it, and it slows her down. Because the very last dodge, you can look, and she looks behind. She's like, she knows she's gone. Also very heartbroken. Thanks, Sakurai.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much my thoughts.
All right. Eric, what'd you think about Snake just hiding in his box? Did that?
That was hilarious. Okay, I did not want another Smash Direct.
Okay.
Like, the last thing I wanted on Earth was another Smash Direct.
Yeah, I can see
So,
that.
of course, we got it. I was pleasantly surprised, and Sakurai might be my new favorite person because he's like, oh, you guys want Waluigi? Nope. And on top of that, I'm going to kill everything you all love. And it was glorious, and I enjoyed every second of it. Now, obviously, Mario's not really dead, everyone. Don't worry. He'll be saved. It'll be fine. But it sure was fun to watch all these beloved characters just get wrecked. So that was fun.
It was fun.
I'm really excited for the game now, more than I've been to any point, because the single player, I'm not going to be competitive. I'm not going to have fun getting destroyed online. Like, that's just not going to be fun for me. But now it looks like there's a lot of stuff I'm going to be able to do in this game. So I know I can get my money's worth out of it, and that's been my biggest concern. It's like, I'm going to get this game. I'm going to play online with you guys occasionally. I'm going to get destroyed and frustrated and turn it off. Now I have stuff to do, so I'm very excited.
You have a lot to do from the looks of things.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot. Ton.
A lot. It's
Ton to
it's
do.
Diablo meets Smash. That's what's happening right here. So.
Yeah. It was as much as I said we don't need another direct and I thought it was terrible. Like, how much can we talk about a fighting game? Really? Like, what are we doing? A direct per character at this point? That's what my mind was at before the direct. After the direct, I'm like, you know what? This was the perfect last direct for them to have. It firmed up everything I was hoping to see personally. I know you guys have all probably seen everything you wanted to see from the last 42 direct. So now I think they've covered everything. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, right on. Destinat, where you at?
Like Hate said, I thought it was really good. I thought it was a very good last direct before the game comes out. The inclusion of the characters, like, I'm a huge Street Fighter fan, so I was like, okay, cool. You can like still play Street Fighter in a completely not Street Fighter game.
Right.
So I thought, okay, that's cool. I know there was a great 2017? The great 2018 Amiibo Purge in my house. I still have Ryu up there somewhere, so I will be getting Ken, just to have both of them. So I'm happy to see that. The video that Mel's just totally described perfectly to a T. Yeah, it was like kind of super dark,
Right.
for Nintendo, right? My only problem is they showed the game footage afterwards, and I'm like, the game's, you could tell, it's not nearly as dark. It's not gonna follow along that same kind of, I guess, palette, if you will, that they kind of presented to us. Because I'm very much for games, kind of like, I don't always like them to be super happy-go-lucky, and they don't have to all follow this the hero's journey where everything's great at the end.
The Missing.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
the movie Seven. I mean, that's also a huge movie where I'm like, this is awesome. And if anyone's seen that movie, they know it's not exactly all roses and flowers. So I like when maybe media takes us to places where it's not exactly like, maybe it's like just outside our comfort zone. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna get it with this game. But that trailer kind of alluded to it almost. But
You just want to see Kirby like go down a very dark path. Like, that's it. I'm getting guns, and this is not.
Or I mean,
Solid Snake.
I think it's awesome that they took the most cute and cuddly character on the outside. Like when you view him, you're just like, oh, he's just like this kind of like pink ball. It's like, or 50% of the population is like, is that Jigglypuff? Like they don't know. So
Well, didn't Sakurai create Kirby? He's not going to kill Kirby.
right,
Yeah,
so.
But he also does this all the time.
But yeah, so it's just like that whole cinematic I thought was very awesome. It reminded me of like was it Mass Effect 3 where all the ships are coming in and it's just like you can't even see the sun because there's so many like those hands. You're just like, oh, that's awesome. And
Those are all Waluigi's gloves.
Ugh.
sure, why you gotta ruin this? We were talking good about this and having fun. Bring up
Yeah, it was a good direct.
tool. Yeah. So
Hey, wouldn't you guys have liked
the
it if he was
trailer.
in the game and then he would have gotten killed by these beams also?
But he's already dead, just on the inside.
Dead
I
to
don't even
you.
want him in the game to be killable.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So no, I like the trailer. I like the characters that they included. The whole spirit system. While I'm not gonna lie, it kind of lost me at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
paying
really understand
attention.
what it is. Looks like you can add power-ups to your character and things like that.
Yeah.
But
It's kind of like a RPG-ish kind of thing.
Yeah.
Going.
RPG elements in a game that doesn't need them.
Yeah.
It's my complete
Well,
lack
it looks
of
like it's
surprise right
gonna
here.
it's gonna make it completely customizable. So Josh's Mario in Spirits is gonna be way different than your Mario versus because the different power ups. So
Right, which I'm glad they included because I really like it for games that are ongoing series to try to at some point kind of reinvent themselves. I don't like it when the game's basically an HD remake, and they could have gone that route I think with this game because it's like, oh, let's just put all the characters in and it's ultimate and let's add a new soundtrack and maybe one new level and people will buy it. No, let's try new things and maybe it'll totally fail and the next Smash that comes out won't have anything at all. It'll have something different. I think so. I'm all for that.
yeah, the thing is, I was going through the Smash Bros subreddit today, and somebody posted like, "Do you know how exciting like this game's going to be for like little kids that are playing it this holiday and unlocking so many characters as they're going through like." You know, I know for some of us it's like, why do all these characters have to be locked? We just want to be able to start playing competitively. We don't want to have to unlock stuff, you know. But for others, it's going to be like there's going to be hours and I know that firsthand because that's how Brawl was for me and my boys. And what's funny, my son came into my room and he was like, "You remember when we played through all those missions on Brawl? And remember how excited we would get every time a new challenger would show up and we'd have to beat him, otherwise we wouldn't unlock him." And like, you know, he just loved it. They absolutely loved it. And so I am looking forward to that for others. It's probably not going to be something that I spend that much time in, and that's fine. Like I know what I want from Smash and what I'm going to get from it. And so it's not it's not a bad thing that it's there in my mind. I'm glad that there's so many to hear Eric say, "Yeah, this looks like I'm going to be able to really sink some time into this." Like that's great. You know, that's good because I mean, it gets you it makes your $60 worth something, which I think is really good. The one thing I want to mention for Smash, guys, I do have the Smash Bros cast. You can go check out. Nightcrawler and I really took a whole like real deep dive into this direct. We went through each segment. NPC and SBC are hosting a Smash Bros tournament. It is going to be next weekend. So the same weekend that Pokemon comes out, we're going to be doing 3DS and Wii U. Okay, and if you want the details for that, you're going to need to get into the Discord. That's n64josh.com/discord. We will have all of the details in there, and we'll talk about it a little bit more on the Smash Bros cast this Friday. So you can get more details that way. With that, we're going to move right on, just touch on a few other news topics here, and then we will wrap this thing up. NES games for November: Metroid, Mighty Bomb Jack, and Twin B. Anybody excited for these games at all? Destin not shaking his head.
Heard about these games at all ever in the history of Nintendo?
I heard of that Metroid game.
Yeah, you've heard of
Well, that one, yes, but
I had a Twin B.
Super what? B?
Mighty Bomb Jack and Twin B.
Twin B.
I had a Twin B.
Is that two different games or one game?
Two different
It's
games. Mighty Bomb Jack is a game that like I remember I would always see the cover for, but never like it was always at Toys R Us. It was always in the store. I would always see it.
Yeah.
I never had any clue what it was. I still
They ain't wasting a rental on that.
No, it just didn't. It looked like it was like one of those iffy boxes. You know, you kind of look at the box art and you're like, this could be.
Not good or really amazing.
Yeah, one of the two.
So here's my like little minor gripe. So Nintendo Online comes out, gives us a giant handful of very classic good games. Then the second batch comes around and it's like it's still pretty good. One of them's a repeat. It's like easy mode for Zelda, whatever. And then they're straight to trash tier now.
I mean, it's
Is that what's going on?
I mean, you don't got that many.
I mean, Metroid's classic, right? So you're getting not this necessarily version. Does anyone love the original like Metroid? Really?
No.
Speedrunners do.
Yeah, maybe.
Everybody wants Super. Nobody wants.
Right, of course, but yeah, it's Metroid, so at least everyone understands what it is. But you're right. I mean, Twin B and Mighty Bomb Jack.
Well, I will say this about Twin B because Nintendo put out a YouTube video showcasing like what these games are. Twin B looks like 1942, so I'm actually kind of excited to check that one out. I had never played it or even heard of it up until.
When you play as a bee, what are you shooting?
I have no. I just.
Stingers, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, then you're dead. You shoot it one time and you're dead.
And you can only shoot
That's
backwards.
a great game.
Apparently, so you're being chased the entire time. I don't know.
Yeah, and then you shoot it and you die.
It's like every shot counts.
Game over.
Okay, well, if you were a kid in the 80s, probably more 90s, like late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, you probably remember a thing called a Tamagotchi.
The proper way for you to do this, Josh, is only 90s kids will remember Tamagotchi.
That's right. That's the proper
That's
podcast
how you're supposed
way
to start
do
with that,
it.
because
Yeah,
only 90s kids remember
yeah,
anything.
that's right. Only 90s kids will remember.
I do remember this.
S-
Just say it.
So, Tamagotchi and Pokemon may be giving us the crossover of our dreams. That's similar to how the headline read on Nintendo Life. And so there's apparently a leaked image that shows a Tamagotchi with Pokemon inside. Mel, I'm going to let you kind of
Eevee.
run
It's
with this. Okay, there you go.
And apparently, in this little Tamagotchi thing, you can evolve Eevee into any of its 8 evolutions. Something you can't do in Let's Go Eevee. Or at least not your main Eevee, not your pal Eevee. You have to catch your own Eevee and evolve.
Well, Ash never evolved Pikachu because then it's not Pikachu, right? So
Yeah, he's never gonna evolve.
right.
Cayman says, can confirm I am a 90s kid, and I do remember that. So,
I mean,
Exactly, see?
they just came out with the Tamagotchis not too long ago. Like they made like a new reprint. I think they had it at Toys R Us before it died.
So, fun Tamagotchi story. I think it was Tamagotchi or one of those pet things. I got one for my 11th or 12th, 10th or 11th birthday. I don't know. Whenever they first came out and they were hot.
15th birthday.
Wasn't quite that. So
What did
So I got
Travis said with
one.
it?
those things had sound, or the one I had sound, and like it would cry when you don't feed it. And I left it in a common area of my house overnight, and my dad lost his mind and smashed it. So that was the end of my Tamagotchi. I didn't take care of it. I left it to cry in the middle of the room. He got mad and broke it.
You left it so it could be murdered. Not even just abandonment. He got.
Yeah, oh, it got murdered.
Lauded.
Happy birthday to the ground. So
It was probably crying out for you. Like each little hand was. It's like, please, Hank.
yeah, and it had like this annoying like beep. That was the cry was just like beep 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 beep, and it just like I hear him yelling in the other room, and then the beeping stopped. So
Game over.
Tonight
Big
when he
up, fun
goes to
story.
sleep, he's gonna hear the beeping. He's like, oh no, it's come back to get me. It goes to the Tamagotchi.
So fun story, kids. If you're getting one of these Tamagotchi, Pikachus or Eevees or whatever Tamagotchis they are, turn the sound off, or your dad might break it.
Yeah, make sure to feed them because they'll get hungry, and
You
make
have
sure
to clean up after it,
clean
too.
up after them.
You do have to clean up after.
You know, that was exciting. So, yeah. So there you go. That. And again, it's a leaked image. It's a rumor, grain of salt, but it could finally be happen. I mean, it's all I've been waiting for since the 90s.
Yeah.
I know Destinot's buying both of them if they come out. So.
I mean, they had a Pikachu one. It wasn't a Tamagotchi though. It was Pocket Pikachu.
Oh, I see.
It's a little throwback, but instead we get Eevee this.
Wait, so it was a pocket Pikachu Pokemon, which is a pocket monster.
Yes.
I'm so confused.
It was
I'm so confused.
It was just a little Pikachu. Like a classmate of mine had it, and man, I was so jealous of this thing because like I knew it was stupid, but I had to have it, but I couldn't get it because my mom's like, "You're not getting that. It's just gonna die." I'm like, "I'm gonna take care of it. I promise."
It's just gonna die.
I mean, you can start a new one. It's not like it dies forever and you're like, oh, I gotta throw this away now. Like, it wasn't Dark Souls Tamagotchi. You're good.
Oh, you just gave him $1 million idea. You better go and write that down.
Souls.
Patent that, man.
That is brilliant, right? You only get one life to live. That would be... People would pay crazy amounts of money for that. Like, I'll keep this alive, and it dies. Now it's junk.
Right.
Yeah.
Paperweight.
Paperweight.
Okay. Hey, this is for you, buddy. The creator of Celeste teased a GIF on Twitter of something.
Yep. Saw that. Loved it. Saw it again.
What is
Loved
it?
it again.
Is it is DLC for Celeste? Is it a new game?
There's 3 things people are speculating, right? So DLC is the first, which makes a lot of sense. Celeste 2 is the second. The most far-fetched but possibly awesome was a level editor. Those are the 3 things people are speculating it could be. I'm guessing it's probably DLC, but I don't. Maybe it's Celeste 2. because they don't really do DLC for these indies like that. So I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I'm excited because Celeste is still my game of the year.
Wow.
True
crazy.
story.
We all surprised.
True story. It's almost the end of the year. That game came out in January. Still my game of the year. So
Man, that's almost a
There you
year
go.
old already. It's crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
I know.
All right. Well, there is a fairly large Splatoon update that is going live. It may already be live. It happened.
It's live.
It's live now.
I
so there you
downloaded
go.
it. Yeah.
So we got a new map for Salmon Run. And I have a link to it. I'm on the Splatoon Tumblr. That's where they kind of update all of the Splatoon stuff. We also have the latest Kenza collection weapons, which looks like we're getting the you're gonna have to help me out here, Mel, but I think it's the Splattershot Junior, a brush, it looks like an umbrella, I think,
Yeah.
and the last one is like the let's see, the L3 nozzle nose. So there you go. And then let's see, the undercover Brella. This one features the new torpedo sub weapon and ink armor special weapon. Did you get to see this torpedo?
Not in action yet.
so-
I saw the hammer in action. That gigantic hammer. That thing is insane.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like you can touch anybody when they are pretty much going. I think you can use the new missile sub to get them out. But I mean, if you don't have that, I guess you just kind of wave that out. I guess. I haven't tested it out yet because I just downloaded it for the show.
Right.
So-
yeah. Just
I'll probably play a couple rounds.
just drop. But apparently, I mean, this giant stamp thing is crazy. I mean, it is humongous. So it should make for some pretty interesting kills. I would actually have to play the game long enough to earn some money to be able to buy any of the weapons that have those things. So yeah, go ahead and insert jokes here. But yeah, big Splatoon update if you are still playing that game or you want to get back into it. They're still going strong for a little while longer. A little while. This isn't the last update, is it, Mel?
I mean, we're getting close.
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
Unless they just lie to us again, like, hey, no, we're gonna support it even more. Because I mean, they might do that. I mean, I'm not counting on it, but if we look at those numbers, it was still selling pretty well. Because we're like at what, almost 8 million for this game now.
It's getting close. A trash can in chat is saying you still don't have all the weapons. So I played.
He has like 10 weapons.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I played to get perfect gear. So I probably have 15 to 20 pieces of perfect gear. So that's where all my money has gone into buying chunks. So that's why I don't have all the weapons. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, breathe in. Okay. So here we go. Let's go. Let's go Pikachu. Let's go Eevee. Exclusive Pokemon for each version. Let's go Pikachu's getting Oddish, Sandshrew, and Growlithe. Let's go Eevee's getting Bellsprout, Vulpix, and Meowth. Now, when Mr. Cool Red Luigi, I believe, is the one that showed me this, or Nightcrawler, one of the two. They posted it in the Discord earlier today. And my first question was, can't we just import these from Go if we already have them? You know? Yes.
At a certain point, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't, because not everybody's Go section has those Pokemon. Like for me, I'm not gonna find like Sandshrew a lot. I'm not gonna find probably like Vulpix or Meowth a lot. And so, if you don't have those Pokemon near your area, it might be not able to just import from Go. So you're probably just gonna have to trade.
I see. Got you. That was just the one thing I thought was a little bit strange. I was like, wait a minute. Like, I'm pretty sure I have all 6 of those in my.
Yeah, you probably do. There's a good chance.
Yeah. So I just thought it was a little bit weird. But anyway, those are the exclusives. If that's something that is a factor for you when deciding on whether to go with Pikachu or Eevee, there you go. There you go. So, lastly, with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, we found out there is no Pro Controller support. So you're not going to be able to swing your Pro Controller around like you were wanting to, Eric. Sorry.
Darn.
Dang it.
So they really want you playing with that Pokeball or just the Joy-Con, just like in Mario Party. So, yeah, there you go. I saw a few people getting a little bit fired up about that. Other people are like, I don't care. I want to play with the Pokeball anyway.
Of course.
Eric, I don't even think we've had you on since Mario Party came out. Did you get it, or did you play any of it?
Oh, I got it, and I've played very little of it.
Okay.
I have no adult human friends that want to play video games with me IRL.
Not even at work, huh? Nobody?
I could probably do it at work, but I'd have to
That's
figure
a long
out the timing.
Yeah, that's a long.
Yeah, I'd have to coordinate a meeting, if you will.
Team building exercise.
Right. I can do that for one of our team building offsite meetings or something. But I played a little bit. Played with my wife. The pacing was too slow, so in between it telling her how to play each game, she got bored and immediately went on her phone. And so it didn't have enough engagement for her to stay engaged. So we did a few rounds. It was entertaining. I'm waiting. We always have a Christmas party every year. Need to buy a couple more Joy-Cons, and I'm going to attempt to play it at our Christmas party. I will see how successful it is. If not, we'll just play Diablo.
There you go. Sounds very Christmassy.
Yeah.
Plus, Waluigi's not in that too, so.
Tell me about it.
You'll have Smash by that time, maybe, if the party's after the 7th.
Oh yeah, it will
So,
be. Yeah, that's true. I can do Smash.
There you go. Okay, well, hey, we actually did a show that's not like an hour and a half, guys. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. We're right at the 1 hour mark. That's crazy. So, Eric, where can people find you?
Well, hopefully, right here, Tuesdays, 6-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time, would be where you can find me. Twitter at HateZero, Discord, I'm on there as HateZero as well. Do join us. It's a great group of individuals. It's a blast. So there you go.
Destina, how about you?
You can also find me in the Discord, and for the foreseeable future on Diablo 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I don't know if I'm getting Smash yet. I have no desire for the multiplayer portion of that game. The single player, I gotta see some more on it. I don't know. It's not dark enough for me. If there's a scene where Kirby gets trapped under a log and has to chew his own leg off to survive, then I might get it. But as of right now, it's a.
I don't think he
I don't
chews,
know.
actually.
So you want Saw?
So he has to inhale
Yeah,
just his own leg in.
You might get your request. Every trailer has been really dark. The Luigi's castle was dark, really dark. So maybe this game's gonna have an edgy side.
Is this the new Nintendo?
Maybe it's the new Nintendo.
They've jumped from G to PG.
Ooh.
Mel, where can we find you?
I'm gonna be in the Discord. That's where I usually like to chit chat.
Right on. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, even Snapchat, all the places. It's N64Josh. My Instagram probably is where we're having the most fun, taking pictures of Nintendo games, talking about memories with them. And then I read some of them on Thursday nights, so make sure to get involved with that. You can follow the show at NPowercast. Right, if you want to email the show, it's npc@n64josh.com. The show notes for this episode, n64josh.com/npc143. You want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/npc. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPSeat. You go to n64josh.com/OPSeat. You automatically save $10 at checkout. Remember, I do have a Patreon. For just $1, you get an extra podcast each month, and that's patreon.com/n64josh. And we do want to say, come hang out in our Discord. A lot of great people. We have a lot of fun in there. A lot of people playing Diablo right now. so many people hyped about Diablo that so many other people went and bought it because they're just like, no, I was going to avoid it, but they couldn't because it's just too good. So coming out in the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. Lastly, rate and review on iTunes. We'd greatly, greatly appreciate that. And if you could share this with your friends, post it in a Discord, post it on Reddit, wherever you share your content that you like, we would really appreciate that, guys. And we'll see you on Thursday. Bye now.